Hello everybody, this is Carla, and this time I'm here to do a review on the very first episode of the new revival of the X-Files franchise, which just aired last night on Fox, 20-year anniversary. I have been a fan of the X-Files for so long. Like, it was one of those shows that I watched when I was a kid, and it totally freaked me out and changed my point of view from so many different things in life that it's very close to my heart. It was also, I think, the very first show that I remember actually like being really excited about even after I saw it, like going to school the next day and discussing it with my friends and what we believed, what we didn't believe, and just what we thought was going to happen. It's one of those shows that whenever I think about it, I'm reminded of being a real fan, not just somebody who watches every week and is entertained, but somebody who actually is into this thing so much that you think about it constantly and you look up stuff about it, and obviously the internet wasn't as big back then as it is right now, but I really love this show. I have a special place in my heart for it, so I was very happy to see that it was coming back to Fox for the 20th year anniversary. And now that I've actually watched the episode, I actually feel really happy. One of my issues with the whole revival idea thing is that, skipping, 14 years since I last saw Mulder and Scully. Skipping 14 years like that, it was going to feel very different. That was what I was, thinking that it would happen. Especially once I heard that, Mulder and Scully had broken up and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is going to be something completely different. They're going to adapt it to the times, and it's going to feel like it's not the X-Files anymore. Those fears are gone. Watching the first episode, it felt like the X-Files. Sure, it's been a long time since we last saw these characters, and they've gone through stuff. And of course, the special effects, modern special effects really do this show a lot of good. That's all I'm gonna say. Even if it's just TV effects, they're not all that amazing compared to movie stuff. But the show, like the opening sequence with the crash of the spaceship, that was fantastic. From that point on, I was hooked because it looks so legit, which it didn't before in the 90s. Yeah, obviously you knew it was a special effect, but it didn't look as seamless before as it did right now, and that just legitimized the entire thing from the very first scene. Another thing is that I almost feel like the show skipping those 14 years is a good thing, because obviously I'm no conspiracy nut, but if there's one thing that I can believe from this episode is that the world is a very different place now than it was before 9/11. 9/11 changed things a lot. And because of that, the show obviously has to adjust to this new world. I love the new direction they've taken. Honestly, again, I don't believe any of this conspiracy BS. I don't. I'm very much a skeptic in that sense. But I understand why that would be more relevant now and why Mulder would be into it now. So I like that instead of him, looking up stuff in order to believe the alien conspiracy, now he believes in the human conspiracy. It makes total sense to me. I see it as a normal path for his thought to take. Honestly, it makes total sense to me. I like that they've turned into a different conspiracy now. We're not looking for aliens, we're looking for the humans who are, I guess, pretending to be aliens in order to obfuscate the truth, or, you know, just mislead the entire human race, I guess. Again, I don't believe it, but I like it, and I like that everybody we knew is basically involved in this thing. Like from before, I mean, Skinner knew about it, he never said anything. Then there's a cigarette smoking man at the end, who's obviously, you know, everything we thought we knew about him now takes on a whole different spin. And even Scully's abduction and their son, it all takes on a different meaning, and I like this. This show, I mean, The X-Files has always been good at you know, making use of people's already existing paranoia. And the world right now is a very paranoid world. Let's just put it that way. Everybody's paranoid about something, whether it's the NSA or terrorism or aliens. You never know. I mean, that was what the show was for me, and I really did feel that in this episode. It felt, you know, like they were taking those little strands of paranoia that I have within me and just tugging at them to make me doubt, to make me think. That, for me, that is the essence of The X-Files, and this episode had that in spades, and I loved it. I also loved, I love Joel McHale. I love him in general, but I love that he got to play a conspiracy nut in this episode, because he did it so well. Not entirely sure I like the whole thing he has with Scully. That's a bit creepy. But we'll see where that goes, because, I mean, come on. Everybody and their sister is a Mulder-Scully shipper, okay? There is no other ship in this show. There's none. It's impossible. So anybody who kind of tries to get in the way of that is going to make all of us feel a little bit iffy. And I feel that way with him. But I like Joel McHale. I think he did a great job. He was very believable in the role. So yeah, I liked seeing him in there. I liked that the design of the alien spacecraft was fantastic. I mean, it did remind me a bit of the X-Jet from X-Men, or maybe the Quintets from other Marvel shows. But I did like it. It looked cool. It looked like something we hadn't really seen before in the X-Files. So that was interesting. And just the entire thing, really, it was really, really faithful, I feel, to what the X-Files were meant to be from the beginning. I had a little bit of trouble with Mulder at the beginning of the episode, because, I mean, he walked out of that car and I was like, you look like the dude from Californication. So that was kind of iffy. I'm so used to seeing him in a suit when it's Mulder, so it's kind of weirded me out a bit, but that got better. One of the things I loved most about the show was just Mulder taking this one little detail, one little thing, and running with it, and getting really excited about running with it, because that's kind of the heart of the show for me. It's just Mulder, you know, chugging on to try and find the truth, and adding to it and adding to it and adding to it, and getting more and more alive every time he finds something new. I love that, and I think that's what made me, you know, go back into the mindset of, oh, this is Mulder. This is not just David Duchovny. This is Mulder. And I mean, when he was explaining everything to Scully when they were in Sveda's house, and explaining the whole conspiracy thing. Usually I'm Scully, and this time I was Scully, by the way. I mean, I'm just sitting there like, are you serious? With this look on my face. But I loved seeing Mulder, like, he gets really excited, and it's adorable. And he gets really excited because he thinks he has things figured out from just one piece of information. He just takes huge leaps. And he gets so excited about it, and he's so sure about it, that he makes us feel like he's right. So, I mean, in the real world, that's a dangerous thing, but in Fox Mulder, it's kind of adorable, so I like that, and it really did make me feel like I was back with Mulder and Scully. I like that the tests weren't conclusive at first, because, hey, that happens in science. But also, I love that Scully had the insight to actually run her own blood. Because, yeah, that's one of the threads that's been hanging for how many years, right? And now DNA analysis is so easy, so it's so much easier to just run a test, right? And I like that she, obviously, there's something wrong. I mean, she has alien DNA at some point, so I guess we'll see how that goes. My mind is kind of boggled right now, because I don't know how they're going to kind of go down this track of the whole alien conspiracy thing and the government conspiracy thing. I don't know how they're going to go through all of that in just 6 episodes. So I guess we'll see. But as far as the first episode goes, I really loved it. I felt like I was back with Mulder and Scully again. It brought me right back to my childhood, because it's one of those things where I just sat there kind of entranced, and it wasn't until like later on in the day that I actually managed to actually think it through and be like, okay, so maybe they stretched things a little bit here or a little bit there. So I was happy to have that experience again, even though, I don't believe in conspiracies, and I probably never will. It's good to see the show take on those things, because that's what the X-Files is taking on conspiracies and spinning a story about a person, about 2 people out of those conspiracies, and making it wildly entertaining, and also, making us doubt. It preys on our paranoia. That's what it does. You watch the episode, and all of a sudden you're not so sure about things anymore. I love that feeling. I mean, eventually I figure out that, nope, that was just, I don't believe any of that. But I like the feeling of it. The feeling of, what if they're right? They make you think. And I think every show that makes you think is a good show. So yeah, I'm really happy with this revival. I think maybe they had a few too many scenes of just Scully looking contemplative at the hospital. I could have used with a little bit less of those, a few less of those, and maybe just too much going back and forth. They took too many leaps at some point, but while I was watching, I didn't necessarily notice that. I only thought of that after, so I think I can give them a pass on that. Joel McHale was excellent. Gillian Anderson, man, how does she stay that gorgeous after so many years? She's gorgeous. Oh my god, and I love seeing her back, because I'm usually the Scully in anything. So yeah, I enjoyed that back and forth between her and Mulder. Hopefully, throughout the 6 episodes, they'll reconnect, because it would really hurt me for them to not be together, and I think most X-Files fans are of the same mind, honestly. Come on, who else are they going to be with? They're just going to be alone for the rest of their lives? No, come on. I love the flashbacks. The Roswell flashback was fantastic, and the special effects make it look so much better. And I loved that they held back the appearance of the cigarette smoking man until the end. Like at the end, they had like also guest starring William B. Davis. I was like, oh, that's smart. That's very smart, you clever people. So yeah, I'm really excited about the show. I can't wait to see the next episode tomorrow. And I just wish it was longer than 6 episodes, honestly. I really feel like I'm back in the 90s and watching something I loved. And that maybe I will go to school tomorrow and talk about it with my friends. Obviously, I'm past that time, but it makes me feel that way. So far, so good. I'm very happy with this revival so far, and I hope it continues. I mean, they only have 6 episodes, so I don't think they can run it that bad. But we'll see. It was a good beginning, that was all I can say, and, it's looking really, really spiffy, and I think the modern update really does work well with the show. So that's about it for my review before I gush all the more about this show, because seriously, it's like literally my entire childhood. So before I keep gushing on for like an hour, I will just cut it short here. That was my review. As usual, if you guys want to see more reviews from us, be sure to visit our website at thegeekypub.com. We have reviews for other TV shows, books, movies, games. We have a ton of stuff in there. We'll have more X-Files reviews as the episodes premiere, so be sure to keep checking back. And also, if you guys want to be notified as soon as we upload any new reviews, then you'll want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where they usually go up first. Even before they hit the website, they go up on YouTube. And then if you subscribe, you will be notified straight away. So be sure to do that, and I will see you guys in my next review, which will probably be for the next episode of the X-Files. So, bye!